Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jankyard again. I am your host, The Treatment, and my ever-loving, faithful co-host, Shmenny, is here. I gotta make sure that your audio
I
is
thought
working.
I was the host and
Sure.
you were the co-host.
Yes, that is right. Yes, you are the host. You're doing all the hard work here. And we are here tonight to stream the semifinals, I believe, of the LKA Legendary Knockout Arena Season 4 between Brian and Shadowfire, which is exciting. I'm just going to get it up and going because they've been waiting patiently for us. So let's hop over here and let them know that they can start. So this should be exciting because we have no idea what they're playing. And
I think they're playing Ashes.
Could
That's
be
my brave
Red
prediction.
Reins. They're doing a co-op. It's psych
boy.
to everyone.
We're in for a Leo mirror match.
Okay, fun times.
Let me find my coffee.
Yeah. I need a coffee. I was asleep. If Apple Sith ends up joining or watching this later, I am sorry because I was asleep until like 20 minutes ago after falling asleep putting my kids to bed. So you're going to do all the heavy lifting here in the commentary. You're the hype man for tonight.
So, it sounds good. I mean, just looking at conjuration piles, we've got 13 on Shadowfire's side on a 4 ceremonial, 4 nature, 2 charm spread. Thinking some Gilders might be in the offing. I also feel like this might be an Adaptodon deck. It's hard to get to 13 conjurations with 3 spellboard spots unless you've got something like Adaptodon in the mix.
I mean, it could be Bear, Mindfog, but I believe this is a burn list that Shadow's playing, and
interesting.
I think it's one that we built together. Whereas, so I don't want to spoil too many cards, but yeah, I'm fairly certain it's a burn list. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Hammer Knight in the open with those colors. And then Brian looks like probably more of a mill list.
Agreed. I feel like the 6 charm is a pretty good indication that it might be running Farewell.
Yep.
I wonder what the Sympathy Splash is for. Could be as simple as Master Vampire, or I don't know if you put dice control on something like this, and the 3 spellboard is not usually where you would see something like Magic Siphon. But it's hard to predict with Brian. It could also be for just Essence Druid with recurring a first round book.
Yeah, an Essence Druid into like double 3-eyed Owl or double Cobra makes sense, but it could also, I know Brian loves the 0 attack stuff, so I'm guessing he probably has Gilder, which is what the nature dies for, and then he could even be doing like Salamander Monk and just really stalling up the board. But oh man, he got a great roll. Holy Jesus. That was an amazing roll for him. Not ideal.
Especially if he's done very well.
Yeah, for Shadow. By the way, I mean, did you post the share the link in chat at all?
I did
do that
on the Discord, yeah.
Okay, because I have no idea if anyone's even here. If anyone is here, say hello in the chat and join us in the fun. Otherwise, this is just a chat session. Me and you.
Otherwise, it's just 2 old men sleepily watching an Ashes game, admiring ads we don't have.
Yeah.
The 12 pack. All right, there's Frostback Bear, as you
called it,
predicted.
Okay.
He may just have Clashing. I mean, Clashing Tempers is also a nice way to pad a conjuration pile without Adaptodon.
That's true. Yeah. It could also be Butterfly Monk. I should open the discard now that they're starting to discard. can open them. Reclaim Soul, okay. So got some potential heal for the long game for the burn plan. Man, Brian really landed a sweet roll there.
Surprised if he has to meditate more. I guess if he's on a chant engine, it's possible. So there's Shimmerwing, which just increased the chances of first round Essence Druid significantly.
Yes. Yeah. So Shimmy twice, Essence Druid, that's 5 plus 6 if you actually go for the Flame, 7 for the Finch, and that leaves 1 die. Okay, Royal Charm. So that's free. So that's 3 dice and 2 cards.
Yeah, if you run Royal Charm in this kind of deck, and I guess the answer is yes, you do, so even in 3 spell board.
That does mean Gilder then is the other one to protect the Shimmerwing, probably like a double guard.
Double guard? Oh, with Finch, yeah.
Yeah. Which means you know that there's going to be Ryle the Meek plays this game.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
All right. So Butterfly Monk.
How protective of his life do you expect?
Oh fuck, okay. Shepherd. Well, it's always Flock Shepherd. So I wonder if this.
Yeah.
Is this list what he played? It's like the list he had played before. What was the previous tournament? It was in Tristan, sort of like a similar type of thing. Well, I mean, he had fish in that.
Yeah.
But he does love Flock Shepherd, which is good. Honestly, I don't play it enough.
Are we gonna see a Windmill Slam King Fester? Doesn't look like it.
No, but that would have been a good play.
All right, so Gilder is 2, and then 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so if it's Gilder and then 2 Shimmerwings and Essence Druid, that's the first round dice for Brian, I think.
Yeah, and then so then you're not getting the flame out, basically.
Right.
Which you might expect round 1 that you can't actually keep them both.
It's nice to have the Flock Shepherd plus Ryle the Meek in the future does set up essentially a fork where, yes, you can produce the offensive threat, but you're also just walling up and powering up your Ryle the Meek plays if they're not removing the Shimmerwings quickly enough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I don't think there's a lot of offensive threat from Shadow's side. Like, he's also probably wants to sit back and draw into the Molten Golds and burn over the top. Three-Eyed Owl. Okay, so we were wrong. It's not Gilder.
It's not Gilder.
Okay.
Interesting. I wonder if he's got a Gilder Flex in this deck.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. So Gilder Flex, and it's definitely Essence Druid then.
One would think you'd be hard-pressed to spend your dice if you're not on Essence Druid here. He hasn't meditated up for the sympathy. Not that he really has to.
No,
he can just meditate when he's going to make that play.
Especially because you don't want to pre-med, right? You just want to meditate the book that you discard.
Right, of course. I don't know that. I mean, it's you kind of have to have a first 5 plan that includes Finch, but it's pretty clear that Finch on Shadowfire side is probably not going to do much of anything. We'll see. Unless he self-sacks it at some point.
Which is not bad. I mean, the Finch on the other side is definitely more powerful because of the Flock Shepherd. That is super irritating. And and so I would imagine that the only way you're going to get rid of it most of the game is frog pinging it, unless he does have clashing tempers. I don't remember what we did, but I'm now pretty sure that the one of the books is Blood Puppet.
Early pass from Shadowfire. I mean, he's spent more dice, so that makes sense. But yeah, Brian's never going to take him up on that with 2 books unexhausted and a lot of play left in the round.
Yeah, this this is going to be a slower game for sure. I can't remember. Is this LKA? We probably should know this going into whatever we're streaming. I don't care because I'm just glad that we're back live and that we're actually here.
I'll bounce that and tell you, yes, Legendary Knockout Tournaments right there in the game name.
Okay. I'm glad my brain somewhat works. Yeah, and we need to record another episode.
No, our legion of fans have been clamoring for more content.
Yeah, and Allie is, she's out of work. She's like, hey, what are you guys doing? I mean, she hasn't edited anything. So it's really for her that we should strive to do this.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to go for the double Shimmerwing play. And the lack of Gilder does mean he's got to die free for buying the, whatever this thing evolves into, Eternity Flame.
How often do you play it and see it?
I feel pretty confident he's going to get this off. Unless we see another threat develop pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Blood Puppet is an issue. He can clog it right here before he can get the second Shimmerwing down.
And it's kind of sad because that bear now, with until he can remove that flock, the bear is completely useless. And at any point, once the Eternity Flame can come down, it's just it makes it extra sad. And the Royal Charm is going to nerf the Frostback bear. So it's going to come down to the burn and how much Shadow can clog up Ryan.
The Shadow's gotta play the Blood Puppet right now. And at least then you turn off round 1. Yeah, Shimmerwing.
Makes sense.
Now those last 2 dice are going to have to be spent to clear the Blood Puppet.
Well, now, I mean, Brian's only offensive threat is the Druid, so that Finch is still effective.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he wants to really swing with the Druid, though. So he's going to put the wound on. It's the charm. He knows he's not going to get the Shimmerwing in. Yeah. What do we think the Hammer Knight and what do you think Hammer Knight and what's the last charm die?
Old Salt and Beast Tamer?
I was wondering, yeah, Old Salt Beast Tamer. Yeah, okay, so there you go. It's like you know this deck. It's gonna be a nice lineup. It's a lot of 2-attack units.
Yeah, I mean, you can almost clear off the O2s.
Yeah.
Because Butterfly Monk is still useful here too.
You're going to be able to get 1, I think, O2, I think.
Butterfly
so
into
the Finch guard, you got Leo.
Yeah. That Royal Charm kind of screws it up a little bit.
Royal Charm. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to need 2 attacks.
Yeah. He's got 3, plus the ping.
Oh, no, but we're passing.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that either.
I think if you're on Old Salt, play the Old Salt. I mean, at least remove something, because Brian's immediately going to play Shimmerwing now.
Well, also you lose the card. You lose the card to 3-Eyed Owl for no reason. or lose a card.
You Brian does have a die stuck on Royal Charm. Is that an issue? Is that a bug or is that a real problem?
I don't know. That's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like what was the new card that ended up fixed?
Reimagine.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't even know if Reimagine. I can't remember now. There was one of the cards where it removes the die afterwards.
Gotcha.
After the end of the round.
Interesting to see Shadow ditch the Nature's Wrath because I could have at least incredibly killed the Finch.
Yeah.
Right, so there's the Shimmerwing. So he's immediately going to protect from the Blood Puppet play and make sure he can get the Eternity Flame off.
And that Beast Tamer now just dies.
Yeah, the Beast Tamer I think is the number one target for Eternity Flame. I agree.
Which kind of sucks. So the other problem here is now, like, we've given double value this round to Finch because Brian gets to both defend one of these units if he chooses to swing, and then he gets to put down the next one. So it's,
yeah.
I don't know. I think that pass was a bad play.
If Brian has Ryle, does he play Ryle before he gets his Eternity Flame off, or do you not play with fire and just play the Eternity Flame as soon as you can?
I mean, you Ryle for 4, you can kill off the Butterfly Monk and the bear, I guess. And then flame the Tamer.
I'm not sure it matters. I don't know.
It doesn't matter for Brian because ultimately I think he's way ahead here.
Yeah.
This is a pickle for Shadow. Like, this is the type of deck, I don't know what you do. If I was playing, I would be super frustrated.
I think you wish that you'd pack Chant of Revenge. Or something that like can burn in the long game without cards from hand.
Yeah.
I guess Blood Puppets theoretically have that feature,
but Brian's like he's so cheap on dice that it doesn't. You're never going to keep those puppets around unless you're doing 3 book spam, and I'm 90% sure that there are not 3 books. It's just the 1 book. Okay, so they're maybe emoting something. Was it
maybe meditated the wrong,
or he wanted to meditate one more? That's probably what it was. He just gave. Yeah, but wait, what happened? Set side action to +1, but it's not there. Oh no, he's doing it anyway. Okay.
Got it.
Meditates the choke away for. Okay, I wonder if he has Veil then. He could.
That's possible.
Could be
or preparing. Sympathy Pain on the Eternity Flame damage.
Yeah, that also works. Which I always forget about. I forgot that the Eternity Flame does burn damage. There it is. Called it.
So he is playing Ryle. Yeah.
Good call.
It's bear or tamer?
I think you go on the bear. And then you're just gonna, because the bear is the only thing that sort of can do something with bypass
threat. Yeah.
And you're also you're more likely to swing with the bear as opposed to the tamer. Okay. Well, I guess you don't really care too much. You're gonna kill both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Brian always has Rile the Meek all the time.
Well, it helps when you're drawing. He's drawn through quite a bit of his deck. Or just a few extra cards, a couple extra cards. So that helps too.
Yep. Yeah, this is, I don't know. Win condition wise, like, what do you do? If you're Shadow? How do you play this?
This is one thing you do. You're going to try and, I think, Fester. Yeah. So now does he have Veil in hand?
Wouldn't that be the worst? No, okay. He doesn't.
Doesn't.
But I mean, Brian could just as easily recur it.
Yeah, and I think you just do the Eternity Flame now, kill the only threat that's the bypass threat, and you get your 3/3 out there. Yeah, so that's what he's doing. And you don't sweat the Flock Shepherd.
Wouldn't it be even worse if he just has another one, then he drops like 2 turns later?
It's almost always the case. Now, does Leo have the Golden Veil?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So it's Sympathy Pain then.
Sympathy Pain?
Leo takes 2 damage. This should be, yeah, there it is.
You put it on the Owl or Leo? I guess if you're a burn deck.
If you're a burn deck, yeah. You're trying to do something here.
Help. That is a pretty one-sided board, but Leo's got the dice advantage in this round. I mean, sorry, Shadow. Can't refer to one as Leo.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work in this matchup. So there's the Eternity Flame down. I mean, that thing's not going to die unless, well, I say that. Brian's got 2 ceremonial dice, so it's almost guaranteed that he also has self-sack in order to keep this engine of Eternity Flame and swinging going, which means I would think he's running Blood Chains, but also perhaps Reclaim Soul to play against burn decks.
Yeah, an Adrenaline Rush isn't out of the question. Did he meditate up into the... No, he didn't.
Oh, well, no, Sympathy. The Sympathy power works for Adrenaline too.
Yeah, I was just yeah, for sure. I was just wondering if he'd meditated up into the Sympathy power, but no, he ruled it. I think the issue is that with the Eternity Flame is still the Finch Guard. I'm just not sure Brian is like particularly fussed to swing.
Yeah, no, you just swing at the bear and you don't care. Brian could also have old salts, right?
Yeah, that's true. I bet he does have old salts. I think that's a pretty safe bet. But right now he's just setting up 2 owls and sort of daring you to try and, deal with those or slowly lose your hand.
Yeah, that's really the clock, is losing the 2 a hand, and if you don't swing into Finch, then there's nothing you can do. Like, if you don't remove that Finch, you're just sitting there.
I feel like Shadow has to play the Blood Puppet now when he can,
and force the dice expenditure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially just powering up Ryle, but I mean, I don't know.
Manual mode again. Okay. And it's I mean, Brian's also, I always forget that 3-Eyed Owl gives you the information too, so Brian knows what's
right. So
in Shadow's hand.
Right, so he's seen a Molten Gold, so that's one of the 2 remaining cards.
Oh, Ice Trap. Okay. So there's just manual.
Ice Trap it.
Yeah. Which is
the Molten
fair.
Gold is not going to be played. So you now know exactly how the round can play out for Shadowfire.
Yeah, well, he almost certainly kept Old Salt if he started it. So that's your ceremonial and charm, and then Blood Puppet and Butterfly Monk, or a second Finch.
No, we know the last card is Molten.
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah, that's right. We know that.
Yeah.
So, there's.
So what did he first 5? Was it Fester?
It must have been, but then why didn't he do that? Oh, and losing another Molten. Oof. You can't recur anything here. So
no. He's just gonna have 2 dice.
Yeah.
You play Finch again if the Finch gets used.
Yeah, you're hurt. You're kind of hurting here, though.
Definitely struggling to generate threats.
And I mean, Brian at this point could have anything. Like 5 cards, 5 dice, another Ryle, anything, Old Salt, Self Sack. I don't know what the Sympathy Pain could be used for outside of Seeds of Aggression. That would
That's true.
probably be in the deck. That counts sort of like Self Sack, and it's just really good.
Good.
And it's dual parallel cost with Charm.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Well, you called that last round. That makes this is like extra painful to watch because now those guards are useless.
Yeah. Master Vampire is so good in so many situations.
Oh, this is rough.
So I think you spend the last 2 dice on Blood Puppet because you know that Leo can't possibly do anything. Or sorry, Shadow can't do anything with his last 2 dice. So you just got those 2 dice for Blood Puppet. You eat his bear, heal 1, and round.
No, you still have Eternity Flame. There's no reason.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Oh, I see. Because you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could still summon the other Finch.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so he'll eat the bear, and then he'll be able to remove the Blood Puppet.
Interesting.
Okay.
Oh, that's double exhaust the Finch. Yep.
Oh, that's even worse.
Solves that problem.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oof. Okay. Well, now it's open season. The druid,
right? So now
can kill the butterfly monk.
Yeah. Well, or at least force a guard.
Force a guard. Yeah, you have to tank it.
Yeah.
It's
not that bad actually. What's bad? Well, Shadow gets top of next round.
Yeah.
So Vampire eats bear. Druid swings into the butterfly monk. Leo guard. Eternity Flame goes after the butterfly monk, and he counters. And so he'll be only down 1 life with the butterfly monk heal.
Yeah.
But with only an exhausted Finch on board.
I mean, it's still a really bad spot to be in. Hey, Del, what's up? It looks like you're the only one joining this party of 2, but that's okay because it is a party. We're watching Brian and Shadow duke it out. Well, not really mill list in either case, but I guess Brian's playing slow mill with his birds versus a burn deck, ostensibly, although there's enough healing and wall to prevent anything from happening here. So Shadow's in some trouble. And yeah, otherwise, this is just some late night. Well, if you're in Eastern time, I guess. Fun. You're Pacific. No, you're Mountain time.
That's interesting. I think Brian passing here makes some sense. I mean, you're only getting 1 more damage. Or sorry, you're only healing Leo once for swinging at the butterfly monk. So might as well just take the damage that you forced on the guard and go to the next round.
Does it? I mean, I would have swung. If only because you either force the guard or you're forcing dice expenditure. No, sorry, you're forcing dice expenditure though.
Right, that's true.
Right? I mean, I don't think Brian cares about the point of damage as much as removing the unit and forcing Shadow top around to play offensively. And even more so if you have access to Frog Ping and you could in theory roll it, then no matter what Shadow played outside of the bear, you could frog ping and swing.
Right. If you're Brian and you draw Gilder, are you tempted to play it instead of your over your Royal Charm? Because I don't know that he's going to get much more use out of that Royal Charm.
Um, I don't know. Like in this case, if he assumed what he was playing against, or maybe he was just comfortable being like, I only need 2 book and then go with the flame, like to clean up anything else. Maybe he doesn't even have Gilder. Maybe that single nature is just for like Nature's Wrath or Ice Trap.
Wild. Alright, so Shadow prioritizing just putting up blockers, looking at 8 swing damage on the field across from him.
Yeah. He also worth noting Bind. Oh man, he's binning like all the burn. Bend to Sympathy Pain and Final Cry. So like he's only hit for 2 and he's down 4 other cards. Oh, okay, some spice. Oh man, I know I said Brian could have Wrath, and if he does, that would be rough.
Trial's also really good here. I mean, just take out the 2 herders, let him have 2 hatchlings.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Nature's Wrath would be fantastic. Gives the other Leo a chance to refresh the Finch, but you don't mill 2 off the first one.
Sorry, I didn't have Brian's discard pile, but there we go. Also, I forgot that there's the zoom function for people watching. I can do that.
There's the old salt.
All right. So Brian's really running it all.
I don't know why you'd swing here unless you're just kind of admitting defeat.
I mean, you kind of are, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that there's any world in which a master vampire against even whatever pitiful burn you have left is going to do anything. Brian could just take this whole hit and then swing back for 2, 4, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a concede.
Those are 2 good blocks, though. I mean, you might as well block with the Finch, block with the Owl that's not going to die.
Yeah, Final Cry could be coming.
Not from Brian. He's got no.
No, from Shadow. Oh wait, the Finch.
He's not killing either
yeah.
of the units. Yeah.
Oof. Right.
Is there a Sleeping Widow? No. Again, Shadow's not getting anything killed, so he's got no reactions.
Yeah. That Blood Chains was brutal.
Brutal. Yeah.
All right, he hits him for 1 damage.
I think if I'm Brian, I leave the vampire home just to eat the bear that is going to come out inevitably.
Yeah, the druid's doing nothing.
I don't even think. Yeah, I don't think you need to like. You don't need to drop all 10 here.
You don't need to, but like, there's nothing. I mean, not nothing. I don't remember what's in the deck, but there's very little that Shadow can do to recoup this. But yeah, good call.
He does
keeping the vampire back makes sense. So still, hitting for 7.
Yep. I would play the puppet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a Fester.
I mean, there's already been one gone. I
Yep.
don't know if there's two in the deck.
So hard. So much removal. I mean, so much. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Blood Puppet, and then it's just gonna give Brian. Well, Brian has to have
I hope he doesn't
some.
have another blood chance.
Yeah, that would be bad. Especially, well, I mean, he's got top of round, so it's definitely. Oh, here. Okay, are we gonna see it?
Needs a main action of some kind.
In theory, he could just swing like for the attack. I think that's all he can do, right? Oh no, Anguish.
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty good main action.
Yeah, yeah. That does what's it gonna do four here? Most likely. Well, I don't know. There's there's a chance that Shadow doesn't have enough to spend on that he could just take the two.
Yeah, I think you discard from hand. I mean, Shadow at least has now recursion options. He could go to the old salt or fire archer, I guess. So I don't know if you needed to lose a card from hand. Good.
I'm obsessed with like trying to think how do you beat this deck of Brian's. Like, would a super aggro deck be able to take it out? He's got it always feels like Brian's got the right balance of everything.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. There's basically, well, I mean, unless he's got Ryle to clear the board, there's still at least some blockers for top of round.
He's not going to be able to get off a big Ryle play because he's got too much in the way of exhausted stuff.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with the last four dice? I mean, he could have farewell, and then you drop the bear, or Shadow drops the bear. You play farewell for three, and then you can still hit for three more.
Yeah. Um. So Shadow choosing to let a card from hand go, and he loses Anguish, which means I think the last card in hand is still Molten.
Mm-hmm. And you don't even have a good target to do anything with that.
I think if I'm Brian, I just kill the blood puppet, summon Three-Eyed Owl, just keep the strong fork on.
On the bear?
No, I just mean like sort of the long win con. You can just keep up the mill pressure.
Oh yeah.
Force Shadowfire to do something offensively to stop it.
I mean,
so Shadow chose to take 2 damage.
Brian also still has Finch available.
Yep, he does.
He won't be able to play it this round, so you're right that it's probably going to be Three-Eyed Owl. But I mean, even if he lets the Three-Eyed Owl die, you don't care.
Yep.
He could even charm power.
It's interesting he chose not to play the Three-Eyed Owl with the charm power, which would have powered up the World Charm.
Yeah.
It may just be a little loose play this far up, or he's got, I don't know, redirect?
Yeah,
Remorse?
but why would you keep Remorse? Would be interesting. That would be the more interesting play. More mill pressure. Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, Shadow's
If it
down
were
to
me,
nine
it's
cards here.
because am no longer paying close enough attention to the game, and I'm being sloppy and not optimizing everything. But Brian probably has a plan.
I have definitely lost games like that. Or started so far ahead and then even as early as round two, just made a slip. And been like, oh man, why? I actually did that against Shadow just in a casual game. And I was like, what the hell? Like I don't know what I was thinking. Just completely whiffed it and it ended up costing me the game 2 rounds later. I had to concede anyway because it was too late, but all right. Bye, Bear.
Right.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah, it's just immediate Empire on Bear.
Um,
The tale as old as time, or at least as old as Harold's expansion pack.
Fester Final Cry? I don't know. Nope, not Final Cry. Actually, there's still one, right? Yeah.
He's running the full suite. Yes. I feel like you recur for Old Salt. I don't know what you target. I guess one of the exhausted three-eyed owl that's at 1 life.
Well, I mean, you can't recur for the Old Salt right now. I mean, you can't like play it.
Why not? He's got two. He just used one. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what he's doing.
sorry. Okay, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks too that he also binned the fire archers. Like this, it's really a case of every single burn card is gone. Okay, so Old Salt on the Three-Eyed Owl, and then Brian can play the Finch, and you swing the Butterfly Monk at the Finch. But then Brian's just going to be able to.
You can also play Finch with the charm power. No, he can't, and he can't then side action. Sorry.
Yeah, but you're going to be able to nerf the attack, so you're ultimately not losing anything.
What's happening here? Another anguish.
Anguish. Oh, okay. Well then. He basically can do the anguish and the royal charm.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Royal Charm, the Old Salt.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but.
Well, no, it does.
Oh, you Royal Charm the Old Salt, yeah.
Yeah,
saves
so
you a point of damage on the guard.
Well, you don't even have to guard, right? Not the first attack anyway.
Oh yeah.
You can. So there's Royal Charm. Yeah, Old Salt. Molten is gone, so that's fun.
Yeah, you can't go down to 1, probably. That would be.
I mean, he's counting on some sort of top of round thing, but you're not getting through the wall. And even if you are, like Brian can just tank. It's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the most. You just tank the whole damage and then swing. You're done.
Okay.
Get your point.
Functionally the same as 2 swings at the owl.
Yeah. And we're going to see some passes. And now the threat of Ryle is basically gone, which is nice. So maybe there's a window. I don't know. That Three-Eyed Owl discard though is really hurting.
It has been.
I mean, this is round 4 and it's gone off every round, so.
Yep. trying to figure out what is a good main action. I guess that's a good main action for Brian. Yeah, fill up your battlefield so there's no puppet.
I guess, but you don't even. You're just adding a blocker. Otherwise, you don't even care.
Don't want to kill Finch, and you don't want to use your Master Vampire yet. So
No, there's no reason to use it on the assault. You can just wait it out.
right. Yeah. So Leo.
So Leo's gonna win the match.
Shadowfire. Yeah, thank you. Shadowfire will still have one life left if he has to play all cards in hand and goes to fatigue. So there could be one more round. That's
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have pinged that. I would ping the owl, probably. Because the owl
Yeah,
doesn't kill any of your own units.
right,
So you're just
exactly.
clogging yourself.
It's rough.
That was the mistake that Killer made in whatever that match was against Brian.
Brian also is under no pressure to defend, so
Or
or
against
block,
Carl.
so
So, yeah. It's, I don't know, like, in other card games, is there the
you're asking the
idea
wrong person.
well, you play like, I don't know, Marvel, and you've played other games. Is there the same pressure or need to engineer situations where you're killing off your own units?
No, I mean in Marvel you do have a limit on how many allies you can play, but you can always overwrite them freely. You can just throw them away,
Okay.
so you don't have to do any engineering.
And Magic, there is no battlefield limit, right? So you don't ever care.
Right. Netrunner, you do have the increasing cost of installing new ice in the same server, but I think you can always overinstall
There's also
ice
the
and then you don't
memory
have,
for the runner.
right? But again, you can just toss stuff, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to.
I don't know. I guess in what's it? What's is it Hearthstone? Is there a battlefield limit? I don't know. I don't remember. I played it like a few times years ago. Or
I
Runeterra.
think I think it might be one of the coolest design dynamics in Ashes. Honestly,
It's,
I don't know. I'd have to ask other people
yeah,
about
gamers.
clogs. I mean, Summoner Wars definitely can have that dynamic. I think. I'm not very good at that game, but there are situations where you're like, I really wish I had fewer units around. You can get penned in.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting design decision. I've seen new players, especially from other games like Magic, get tripped up on clogging themselves and swinging out too early, or and not really understanding that the other person doesn't have to guard, or they can guard with zero attack units, and then you're just sort of screwed for the rest of the round. Like, you just pass all the way out.
But I feel like yeah, that's the safest play for Shadowfire. Just a battlefield space on Ryan's board. Put a puppet on it.
Just
I don't
chip
know
away.
that
We can go 10 more rounds and just chips away one damage at a time.
well, how close is 2, 5, 8, 10? He's pretty close to lethal on a swing.
Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not much you can do with just the two units.
Right. Okay, so he does finally decide to eat the old salt, which I was gonna say makes space for the bear, but
Fire Archer's better play here, for sure. especially if you can engineer it to like kill or get the butterfly monk killed off and heal yourself enough so that you could then do a recur play.
Huh?
But again, like I'm
Recur
actually
what?
surprised. Like given given that the books are Shimmerwing and Three Eyed Owl, Brian has a lot of offensive power here.
He does.
It really the Ryle
Yeah, I
and
was just gonna say
Bloodchains
Ryle
flipped
just
it
ends the game.
into him being able to put an offensive board. I because when it started, I thought it was going to be a wall game. All right, so well,
Right.
there's the other Ryle.
Yeah.
We knew it had to happen.
So I think you have to play Bear.
Ah, yeah, no,
Oh,
concede.
concession.
Yeah, okay.
Shadow fought valiantly from a really, I think, round one. No, it wasn't round one. I mean, I think the early pass, I think through Fester. I don't know what else he would have had except for Ping Fester. He didn't have the old salt. I think that was, I don't know if it was lethal, but it didn't help. And then round two is when things went really cockeyed.
Yeah, he must have started Fester, and then just because of the Flock Shepherd was not able to get the damage down. Like I don't know, I don't remember if he saved a frog ping, but he just didn't have the ability to do it. So that was, I still think it was a bad pass because he had things to do.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know that that changes the outcome of the subsequent rounds, especially with the blood chains taking out the Finch for 2 rounds was huge.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, really impressive too. Always being at near board clog on both sides and still having a lot of action. So pretty good.
Agreed.
Congrats to
Well
Brian.
played to both players.
And yeah, well played to both. Congrats to Brian. He will be making it to the finals again, which is cool.
Is that his first tournament finals?
Sorry?
Is that his first tournament finals?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Brian's the new kid on the block. Oh,
We'll have to see how he handles the pressure.
I don't know who is it. Lark? I haven't been really following ever since like lost week one to Alfred. I'm not fully tracking what the bracket is. But I think that it's Brankus or Lark, perhaps. So it'll be interesting to see Brian again in the finals, and hopefully it's a time that's suitable for us to stream. Because this is fun and we need to do something for the people.
Agreed. Do you think I was just staring at this picture of Leo as one does and wondering would Gifted Rose, so we saw Anguish. I wonder if Gifted Rose is in Brian's deck. Because Gifted Rose would have made the Eternity Flame a lot more useful. I don't think he swung the Eternity Flame for damage for face, but otherwise it just sat there. Anyway, I will ponder it.
Yeah, could be. Could, like a 2-1 thing. Could be. Yeah. Or maybe he just doesn't play the
Just
third
doesn't have
unique.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could go either way. I'm interested to see what the other cards in this deck are. Because Brian, like 12 cards unplayed. There's a lot of possibilities in here.
Indeed.
But
all right,
we'll have to wait till next time. And Dell's saying Brankus just beat Lark. Okay, so possibly another burn match versus Brian, which could be interesting. But Brankus tends to play the very fast all-in burns. So we'll see if the redirects and other things come into play.
Burn too.
Yeah, he tried Astria burn, and I know he didn't like it. He just felt it was too slow. So Jessa tends to be his main, but could be on Brennan. Who knows? Who knows what he thinks? But it's definitely probably a burn list. Definitely, probably. Yeah, there you go.
I think a Jessa burn list would cause Brian's deck a lot more trouble. But still should be a close one. We didn't see any healing, right?
From Shadow? What are you talking about? From both?
Master Vampire.
Yeah, Master Vampire.
Master
and
Vampire.
The redirects.
And we see a redirect in the discard, yeah.
So
it'll be fun. I hope we get to see it.
Yeah, we gotta keep content in order to maintain our copyright or a trademark on the Jankyard. Gotta stay active, and hopefully, Killer, can stop doing taxes at some point for at least an hour for us to do something.
I just feel like the with Impossible German and Chaos Theory both absorbed in Star Wars Unlimited and other stuff, it's like the threat of one of those long lost podcasts coming back is gone. I don't have the same fire anymore, we need to drum up some competition.
Somebody else needs to start something. Well, there's
honestly the real reason is that Killer, it's tax season for Killer and it's really hard, and I've also been really busy, so yeah, we'll get a podcast here soon.
Life gets in the way. That famous line,
From what? Which movie are you referencing now?
It's Jurassic World. Life gets in the way. Yeah.
Instead of life finds a way. Got it.
Yeah. There you go. You catch on eventually.
All right.
Well, thank you to our one and only watcher, Dell. But to anyone else who watches this at a later point, if you're not janky, you're stanky. Frog up. Snake. Wolf down. Snake out.
Snakes out.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flip.
Flying around.
Yeah.
The lion one.
There you go. We're not there yet. Wait until the set comes out. See ya.
All right.